After being drafted by the Arizona Coyotes 10 years ago, the Domi name is about to put on a Leafs jersey yet again. Max Domi signs a 1-year, $3 million contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Sam Lafferty, that number 28, it's got to be up for grabs, right? But if you're Max, do you take that? Do you take number 28? I don't think you do. I understand you're following your dad's footsteps and you're being with the Leafs, and I think it's a 1-year deal, right? Ty Domi was like a fan favorite forever in Leafs Nation. Max Domi's here on a 1-year deal. So not going too bananas on it, but I'm curious how that whole thing plays out with the number situation. But let's get into what the Leafs are getting with Max Domi, what he will bring to the team, where he will fit on the team, and what's next. Because it feels like something's got to give here money-wise. So we'll talk about that in a bit. What are the Leafs getting in Max Domi? They're getting a guy who's going to put up points. He will be put in a spot to succeed. He'll be in a top 6, top 9 role, depending on how things are going around the year. And a lot of his points last year, I think I saw a lot of his assists were primary assists, which tells you he's great with the puck and finding guys to bury it. And it's beautiful. Now, that could just be last year. It could just be that. So you need a lot more sample size to figure that out. But let me just give you a breakdown of Max Domi's career and how this whole thing has played out. All right? 581 total games, 512 points, 112 goals, 249 assists that's penalty minutes. What am I talking about? 370 points for his career, 121 goals, 249 assists, 512 penalty minutes for Max Domi. And in 43 career playoff games, he has 22 points and only 6 goals in 43 playoff games. So that's something that you do want to keep an eye on moving forward. But in the end, you love Max Domi. So back in 2013, he was drafted 12th overall in the first round by the Arizona Coyotes, but then Phoenix Coyotes. And obviously played quite a few years there in the London Knights, was dominating over 100-point season, did his thing. Consistent 30-goal scorer there. And then in his first year with the Arizona Phoenix. No, it was Arizona then. There you go. 52 points in his rookie year. Then had 38 points in only 59 games the year after that. Then had 45 points, but the goals dipped off. Those 2 seasons under 10 goals, but still, 40-point guy, so that's great stuff there. Then, when he moved to Montreal, is where things really kicked off for him. 72 points, his career high by a long shot. 28 goals, 44 assists. Really good season for him. It was a plus 20 as well. That was his best year by a mile. Following year in Montreal, still good. You missed 11 games, only played 17 goals, 27 assists for 44 points on that season. And in 10 playoff games, only had the 3 assists. Then he went to Columbus in obviously the COVID season, I believe. 54 games played, 24 points. Not the greatest season for him. 32 points the following year. Again, not great, but, you're in Columbus. What do you expect? And then he went to Carolina, I believe, at the deadline of the 2021-2022 season. Played 19 games, had 7 points, was a plus 8, and had a total of 6 points in 14 playoff games there. And then following that, he went to the Chicago Blackhawks last season, on those 1-year deals just to kind of revitalize his career a little bit after that, and he really did. Albeit when you were in Chicago last year, you're going to get a chance to play. You're going to get a chance to succeed because you're one of the better offensive players on that team, and you're going to get power play one time, you're going to get top line minutes, just the way it is. And he made do of it, right? 49 points in 60 games, 18 goals, 31 assists. Just a great year for him there. Then he got dealt at the deadline to the Dallas Stars. Only had 7 points in 20 games, obviously a more diminished role. But in 19 playoff games, he did have 3 goals, 10 assists for 13 points, and 52 penalty minutes in 19 playoff games there this past season. So that's kind of the gist of the history of Max Domi before he becomes a Toronto Maple Leaf. And now let's get to where he really fits on the squad. So you can kind of mix the top 6 a different way. So Tyler Bertuzzi's going to be in the top 6. So let's just put him on the top line for argument's sake. Bertuzzi, Matthews, Marner. John Tavares, Willie Nylander. You can go Max Domi. You can go Matthew Knies. Those guys are interchangeable in the second and third line, I think. And then your third line goes as so. It's either, Domi or Matthew Knies. Your third line center is the one thing that I think it's the question mark on the forward core for the Leafs. Is it Pontus Holmberg? David Kamp's on the third line center. You want him on that fourth line center role. So who's that center there? On the right side, you're going to have Kelly Yarncroc on that right side. Or you're going to have Sam Lafferty on the right side and then have, Ryan Reeves and Kelly Yarncroc on the fourth line. Or you're going to have Kelly Yarncroc on the third line and Sam Lafferty, Ryan Reeves, David Kemp on the fourth line. I don't know. But it looks a lot different. Bringing in Bertuzzi, bringing in Domi has kind of softened the blow a bit on the Ryan O'Reilly leaving, Kerfoot leaving, Achari leaving. There's still some holes in this team, there's no doubt, but they've done their job. Brad Treliving, after all the stuff we talked about yesterday, has really, I don't want to say made up for it, but he's done a great job. And as I mentioned in the Tyler Bertuzzi video, this contract will have nothing will affect the Matthews and Nylander stuff because it doesn't go beyond this year. So it's great stuff. I love the signings today with Max Domi coming to the Leafs and Tyler Bertuzzi coming to the Leafs. Now the interesting part, though, you're still lacking someone on the back end, right? Because you lost Hall, you lost Luke Schenn, you got John Klingberg, but we all know defensively it's not great there. So you're still lacking something there. As I mentioned, that third line center is kind of still a question mark. And in goal, the only guys under contract right now are Matt Murray and Joseph Woll. Well, we all know the thoughts that we have and the media and the organization has on Ilya Samsonov. So what happens there? He's an RFA right now. He had a great season last year. He's going to want some money. And with the signing of Domi, with the signing of Tyler Bertuzzi, what money do you have left? And I think that's the big question mark. They're going to have the LTIR space with Matt Murray, and they're going to have the LTIR space with Jake Muzzin going there as well. Or if you trade Matt Murray's contract straight up to get out of it, then that's a possibility as well. So there's question marks on what's next for the Leafs. And I've just kind of laid out some of the options. Obviously, Ilya Samsonov returning or not. Or literally just giving Joseph Woll the keys and saying, here you go, kid, go at it. And that back end is still a giant question mark. I'm going to quickly pull up the Leafs D-core. Obviously, it's going to have some names that are added in there because of the offseason and whatnot. So let me just bring this up here. So Connor Timmins is there. I mean, do you really want him in your top six, though? Preferably not. You have, so let's say Timmins, Riley, Jake McCabe, Timothy Liljegren, John Klingberg, and Giordano, and TJ Brody. So you do have enough guys, I think, right? Let me forget Connor Timmins, and we'll go from there. Morgan Riley, Jake McCabe, Timothy Liljegren, John Klingberg, Gio, and Brody. So you have your 6 and Timmins as your 7. So you're not in horrible, as bad a shape as I thought you were going to be, but it would not hurt to add some guy in the back end who can play some actual defense, because John Klingberg can't. But where are you going to get the money from? That's the question mark moving forward. I'm going to leave that to you guys in the comments, and I'm just going to leave that to Brad Treliving. All right, we'll see how it goes. But no matter what, for right now, enjoy Max Domi being a Leaf, Tyler Bertuzzi being a Leaf, with all the miserable stuff going on in Toronto sports over the last 48 hours. These last 4 hours have been quite nice. Enjoy it right now, because it's been a miserable time. So, Leaf fans, that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are jacked up to have Max Domi as a Leaf, and Tyler Bertuzzi as a Leaf, smack the like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on Domi being a Leaf. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you guys not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, I don't know. Well, Jay's Edition will be Tuesday as they open up that set against the White Sox in Chicago. Bassett and Giolito are at least right now the scheduled matchup. Raptors Edition, whatever the heck they do something else, if they do anything else. And as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I feel like they're not done. I feel like there's something else being done, whether it's re-signing Sammy, whether it's trade market, whether it's Nylander Matthews getting contracts. I don't know. I feel like those are the things we're talking about next. I think the free agency part of it, you'll see the little small ones, the little depth moves from here on out, but I think free agency-wise, the Leafs are probably big name done. That's the way I'm going to put it. All right, so you know what, guys? Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and are jacked up for October, because I'm pretty pumped at this point. We'll talk to you guys then.